RSO Leader Training, Nuts and Bolts. A registered student organization, commonly referred to as an RSO, is a UNLV student club or organization that successfully completes the registration process through the Student Involvement and Activities Office. A full definition of an RSO is available in the RSO Manual. Here we will highlight some important items in that definition. An RSO is defined as a group of 5 or more students actively enrolled at UNLV who share a common purpose or interest. RSOs are entirely operated and organized by actively enrolled students, with the exception of a required full-time UNLV faculty or staff advisor. RSOs may also be members of other university-based communities that impose additional standards of conduct. Fraternities and sororities are examples of RSOs that are required to adhere to such additional standards. All RSOs are strictly required to adhere to the Non-Discrimination Clause, which states that registered student organizations shall not unlawfully discriminate on the basis of race, age, color, religion, national origin or ethnicity, immigration status, sex or gender identity or expression, actual or perceived, sexual orientation, veteran or military status, marital or family status, pregnancy, or disability. A registered student organization is not an agent, representative, or employee of UNLV. The university defines RSOs as completely separate entities from the institution. RSOs do not operate as an extension of the university in the way that a department does. That means that you are not permitted to act as an extension of UNLV, utilize the university's nonprofit status, tax ID or EIN, or be represented by UNLV's legal counsel. For example, if your organization wishes to hold an event at an off-campus venue, you may not sign a contract with that venue as a representative of UNLV. In that instance, it must be made clear to the venue that you are only signing on behalf of the student organization and not the university as a whole. UNLV owns and controls the words, phrases, insignias, and designs that have come to represent the university to the public, including but not limited to the block logo, academic signatures, athletics logo, and Curved Spirit logo. As outlined in the RSO definition, a registered student organization is not an agent, representative, or employee of UNLV. You are not permitted to act as an extension of UNLV. In accordance with this definition, RSO use of university marks and logos require prior approval, even if the proposed uses do not involve the sale of a product. RSOs may receive limited approval for appropriate non-commercial uses of university marks as long as the marks are not modified and are used in accordance with the university guidelines. No merchandise or use of UNLV logos and trademarks will be approved when used in conjunction with or making reference to drugs or drug paraphernalia, alcohol consumption and or abuse, tobacco products and usage, sexual conduct, imagery or inferences, profanity or inappropriate, insensitive language, gambling, firearms or weapons, political and religious endorsements, and any other merchandise or use of UNLV logos and trademarks judged by the UNLV licensing program to be inappropriate, unacceptable, or inconsistent with standard licensing practices of UNLV. Now, can you use the acronym UNLV in your organization title? Yes, absolutely. You can be the UNLV chapter of XYZ, but you cannot have the university logos or trademarks on any of your material. To obtain more information about these guidelines, RSOs may contact the UNLV licensing program at 702-895-0294 or go to the website unlv.edu/identity/licensing. What are the requirements to start a new RSO or re-register an existing RSO at UNLV? You need a minimum of 5 actively enrolled UNLV students as members. Can your membership include non-students? Every student organization is different and may choose whether or not to allow non-students to join your organization. Some organizations are only for students. Some allow community members or alumni in their organization. That decision is left up to you and your organization. While your membership may include non-students, officers of your organization must be UNLV students. Remember that RSOs exist to serve students and are supported in many ways by student fees. The direction and leadership of your organization must be student-driven. An approved faculty or staff member must advise your organization. RSO advisors need to be full-time faculty and staff members, though you may contact the Student Involvement Activities Office to request an exception to have an advisor that is a part-time faculty staff member. Your organization can have more than one advisor. For example, sometimes organizations like to have a graduate assistant or an alumni member serve as an additional advisor. That's great as long as your organization's primary advisor is an approved faculty or staff member at UNLV. Finally, your RSO must agree to the UNLV terms and conditions as well as prepare an updated mission or purpose statement for the organization. RSOs are also required to upload a constitution via the Involvement Center. All of these requirements are completed during the online registration process. Let's review the registration process for RSOs. All new clubs or organizations, as well as continuing organizations, must complete the registration process. Regardless of how long your organization has been on campus, they need to re-register every single year. For organizations that are re-registering, there are 3 easy steps to complete in order to complete the process. Step 1. Complete the online registration application in the Involvement Center. Visit involvementcenter.unlv.edu and sign in using your ACE account. Click the Organizations tab at the top of the page, then choose Register an Organization on the left. If you haven't already completed the registration application, you'll need to make sure that you go back and complete that step. For organizations that are re-registering and only making some minor changes, it should only take you about 20 to 25 minutes to complete. Step 2. Complete the required RSO Leader online training modules through Canvas, which you're watching right now. After you completed Step 1, your president and your scheduling liaison will receive an email with instructions on how to complete the online modules. At least one member from your organization must complete the training in full. If an officer other than your president or scheduling liaison would like to complete the training, they can self-enroll in the Canvas course. Finally, Step 3. Your advisor must complete and submit the online advisor agreement form. Within a day or two after you complete the online registration application, we will use the contact information you provided to send a link to your advisor in order for them to complete the form. The form is super simple and it only takes a few minutes to complete. Note that if your advisor is new to advising, they may need to complete an online Clery Act training as well. The process for newly registering student organizations is the same with one additional step. In addition to completing the online registration application, these Canvas training modules, and having your advisor complete their portion of the registration, someone from your organization is also required to attend the new organization meeting. This 90-minute meeting discusses many of the things you need to know about starting a new organization and allows you to have your questions answered by a member of the involvement staff. You should have received a copy of the meeting date and time options when you completed the online registration. Note that we will consider a new organization to be any RSO that has not previously existed at UNLV or is not registered in the 2 previous academic years. There are 2 distinct deadlines for this year's process. August 31st, 2024 is the first deadline, and that is when you must complete and submit your registration application. You can check to see if your application was submitted successfully by clicking your Involvement Center profile on the top right corner, click My Submissions, and click Organization Registrations. If your status is pending, then it was submitted successfully and is pending approval. If the status shows In Progress, then you did not hit Submit. To submit, click the blue eyeball icon and it will allow you to review your application, or you can scroll down to hit Submit. September 7th, 2024 is the second deadline, and that is when you must finish your registration tasks. These include the RSO Leader Training in Canvas, your advisor must complete the online advisor agreement form and/or the Clery Act training if needed, and your constitution must be approved. New RSOs must also attend a new organization meeting in person, and virtual options are available. Once all the steps have been verified, you'll receive an email from involvement@unlv.edu congratulating you for the completion of the process and confirming that your organization's registration has been approved. Know that until you receive that email from the involvement team, your organization's registration is not complete. Keep in mind that it does take our office a day or 2 to process everything and to give organizations credit for completing the tasks. If a few days have passed and you've completed the online registration application and the required leader training modules, but you still haven't heard from us, that probably means that we haven't received a completed agreement form from your advisor. It might be a good idea to reach out to them and follow up. If they need us to resend the link, we can gladly take care of that. Just let us know. The direct link to the advisor agreement form can also be found on the homepage of the Involvement Center in the Campus Links section at the bottom of the page. When we send out the initial email to your advisor, we can also copy the primary contact so that you're notified that the link has been sent out to them. Remember, only officers listed on the organization's roster in the Involvement Center will be able to re-register an organization. Contact our office if you need to add anyone as an officer for your organization. For new organizations, once your registration has been fully approved, your organization's page will be activated on the Involvement Center. For our re-registering organizations, any changes that you made during the registration process will not reflect on your Involvement Center page until your re-registration has been completed and processed by our office. The Involvement Center is our online platform and directory for all registered student organizations at UNLV. Every RSO has a page on the Involvement Center that is created as part of the registration process. When we talk to incoming students at recruitment events like new student orientation or even talking to continuing students about how to get involved on campus, we direct them to the Involvement Center to find out what organizations exist and how to get involved with them. So as a student looking to get involved in an organization, I should be able to look at your organization's page and have a general idea of what your organization is about. Students also have access to contact the organization through the Involvement Center. Your Involvement Center page is a great recruitment tool for your organization, so you want to make sure you keep your information up to date throughout the year, including accurate contact information, member rosters, and updated officer lists after transitions. A full tutorial of the Involvement Center will be provided in another training module. The involvement team is here to provide support and resources to your organization. Visit our office in the Student Union, Suite 316, or email us at involvement@unlv.edu. We also encourage you to follow us on social media @InvolvementUNLV.